What is up? What is up? It's that time of the podcast where we're going to talk a little NASCAR. We're at Pocono this week, and Brandon is here. Brandon, what's up, dude?
We got the tricky triangle. One of the only tracks with 3 turns, not 4.
You know what? Pocono, always a little bit of a dirty track. Always a nice little betting opportunity, if you will.
Yes.
How does this track play out for those listening?
It'll be interesting. The track's old. It's bumpy, which hasn't affected the older car. Now with the next-gen car having to be as low to the ground and a lot of bottoming out, you're going to see teams really try to set the car as low as they can. There's limited practice time this week. So I don't think it's going to give for good racing by any means. I think the cautions are going to fly, which will help the racing. But the way these things draft, it's hard to pass. And with these long straightaways, I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of passing opportunity except when tire wear happens, because when they tested here, the tire wear was horrible for Goodyear, which has been all year everywhere. But the only time you're going to be able to pass, I think, is when you're on better tires. So I think you're going to see a lot of tire strategy throughout the race.
Now, it's an interesting dynamic here. What did you think of the race last week? Actually, you know what? I scrapped that because you and I were both in Nolo last week and we didn't watch the race because we were ponied up.
Did not, but I absolutely did watch the replay. I will not get into our time in New Orleans and you with alcohol, but that's a different story.
Yes.
I did rewatch the race. Once again, I got a puppy, so sorry if you hear anything. It was boring. There wasn't a whole lot of passing. It was cool to see Christopher Bell win. Chase dominated again for basically the 4th week in a row, came up second. But you're seeing these guys really burn out that right rear without even realizing they're burning out the right rear. And the guy that saves his tires is making a pass with 20 to go, and there's no catching him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We were at down south and I was consuming. So let's jump into this race. These odds are via Bo Vada, and we are going to start all the way up here. My first bet, I found him at 7-1 on a different book, is Kyle Busch. 2 wins at Pocono. He's led 23% of the laps since 2019. On 2.5 intermediate tracks, he has led 17% of the laps in his last 8 races. He's got a pending contract. He's racing for next year. With his history, racing for his contract next year at 7-1, I feel I have to take Kyle Busch here.
Not a bad pick. I mean, if we're going based off of history, that's the way to go right now. Great history at the track. Still hasn't signed with another team. So, and to see Hamlin's team add a 3rd car, he's not going there. So it'll be real interesting to see where he signs, but he's going to have to pull some wins out. I mean, you're losing M&M's as a sponsor in general. You haven't re-signed with Gibbs. You're up in the air, so you got to make some moves and make them pretty quick.
Yeah, the pressure's on. Hopefully he can get it done. But it would be kind of weird. Do you think there's a scenario where he doesn't get a car?
No, there's no way Kyle Busch doesn't have a ride. I think personally, if that were to happen, you'd see him start his own one-man team somewhere just because of how arrogant he is, and have it called Rowdy Motorsports or something stupid. I think M&M's is getting sick of his attitude towards fans, towards drivers and media. I think Gibbs is saying he wants them back, but I find it really hard to believe behind closed doors he truly wants them, because you would have already made an offer to get him re-signed. So I don't know what the issue is there. I personally am leaning on the Penske team this weekend. I like Ryan Blaney. I'm going to say them both just because I want to speak to both of them. Ryan Blaney at 11-1 and Joey Logano at 18-1. Joey's good at flat tracks. Paul Wolf, his crew chief, put together the best gateway setup there was. And that was a long straightaway with flat corners. So I'm expecting Joey Logano to have another big push at Pocono. And Blaney's due for one. He's dominated points-wise throughout the season. and he just hasn't been able to grab that win. So with him leaning on his teammate Joey and them probably having close to the same setup, those are my first two that I'm leaning on this week. Penske.
Hate to sound like a goddamn broken record, but
don't tell me the old man again.
Old man Kev, since 2018, he's led 23% of the laps with 3 wins and 8 races on intermediate track on 2.5-mile intermediate tracks. In his last 6 races at Pocono, he's led 10% of the laps, has 1 win. He ran pretty good last week. He ran pretty
really well.
Week. He needs that win. I kind of like the position he's in. So, I'm going to take Harvick here at a juicy 12-1. I have one more bet. Do you have anything else going on, or?
I do. I want to go ahead with yours because I got a long shot.
Mine is we are going all the way down here to top 10s. And we are taking Mr. Brad Keselowski at 10 plus 220. Thought process is this. You look at all the drivers racing in the race this weekend. He has the 3rd best average finish, which is 10.6. He has finished in the top 10 63% of the time he's raced at this track. So that's 24 races, 1 win, 11 top 5s, 15 top 10s in 24 races. So historically, he's done good here. You look at the recency bias since 2019, last 6 races. 5 out of the 6 races, he's finished top 10. His worst finish since 2019 is 11th. I just feel, we're getting an established driver here. He did look better from what I've read the last race. I did miss last race. And at plus 220 with his track history, I got to take Keselowski here at plus 220.
I like the pick. Again, going based off his stats and stuff from previous years and his track history. Anytime you can grab somebody like him at plus 220, not bad. I'm not going to say make that bet, but one of the things that I would lean on and just kind of take a peek at, depending off of qualifying, is Chris Buescher at 24. He's been running well the past couple weeks, but if you want to scroll all the way back up to just head-to-head, or not head-to-head, just all-out winner, the long shot of the week and grab him before qualifying is going to be Erik Almirola at 40-1. He finished 3rd and 5th in the doubleheader in 2020. He's been running well recently. He ran well for a while at New Hampshire, which they're going to be using basically the same setup. It's going to be a long shot, but I 100% would grab him at 40-1 before qualifying, and that's my dark horse.
Yeah, that's a good value bet. Are you going to be on Burton at 500-1 this week?
Of course, every week, nailing them, no matter what. 500-1.
Let's go through these head-to-head. Austin Dillon's Keselowski. I would take Keselowski here.
Keselowski.
You mentioned Almirola against Jones. Who you like here?
I'm still, even though I'm betting on him to win, I'm still going Almirola.
I mean, here I definitely feel there's definitely some value on Christopher Bell. Bell
Absolutely.
was part of the people that did the test here at Pocono. But I bet Harvick to win. But if I didn't, as crazy as it sounds, I'd probably bet Bell here.
I'm taking Bell at plus 115 head-to-head, and then Logano minus 115 against Bell.
Okay, Alex Bowman, Kurt Busch.
Bowman, he's due for one.
Briscoe, Suarez,
he is a part of the testing as well.
Elliott, Larson. Harvick, Byron. Truex Jr., Chastain.
I'm going to have to go Chastain. I want to lean on Truex because he's been doing well, but Chastain's been basically in the top 1 through 3 every week.
Hamlin, Kyle Busch.
Kyle, I think, is going to have a huge opportunity to win, but if you're betting on him, I'm taking Hamlin at even money.
None of these Group A's, none of these top 3s, top 5.
Stop at the top 5 for a second.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Corey LaJoie at 75-1. He almost got his win the other week. He got caught up in a wreck last week, And
Corey LaJoy, dude. He's on my shit. He's on my list. He's on my list. He's on my list after that race at where was it? Atlanta. Like I could talk 20 minutes about Corey LaJoy.
I do like a sneaky Michael McDowell at 20-1
for a top 5.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to bet them. It's just those are sticking out to me for sure. We go to a top 10, there's not enough juice in it.
Top Chevrolet.
I don't like betting manufacturer at all. But see, now pause. I tell you I'm on the Penske bandwagon this weekend. And you have Ryan Blaney at plus 245. Then you got your old man at 275. But then you have another Penske at 450. So if you're betting Blaney or Logano to win the race, you might as well throw something on Blaney or Logano to finish in the top 4.
Winning team, you said you're on Penske.
Ooh. Okay. I usually don't ever do a team bet, but if you're riding Team Penske, you can go all in, grab 2 top Fords, 2 winners, and the team. I usually don't like betting all the same, but if you do that, neither one of them pulls this off, you're pulling what, 110-1 total?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Team Penske's like 650-1. So I mean, like, dude, throw, 1 unit, get 6 on it. I kind of like that.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And Logano, I personally can't stand Logano because of personal past history in real life, but yeah. I'm not going to pass up money.
So just to review, I'm on Kozlowski top 10 at plus 220. Old man Kev 12-1 to win it all. And Kyle at 7-1. Brandon, why don't you tell the people what you are on, my friend?
Blaney 11-1, Logano 18-1, and old Erik with an A, Almirola at 40-1. But make sure if you're going to bet Almirola 40-1, you have to bet him before qualifying this weekend because he will qualify in the top 10 and he will not be 40-1 after qualifying.
Brandon, thanks for coming on. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you on
Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, Boston Boy 83.
And when is the next iRace, my friend?
I couldn't tell you. I've taken a nice long break from it, so it's probably going to be another month until it's truly on. But if I do get on for a little exhibition here and there, I'll post it up in the feed and stream it live on Twitch.
Sounds good, my man. Brandon, thanks for coming on. You know what? Until next week, my friend.
See you Tuesday for a little special event.
Oh, yeah. 2 big announcements.
Yep.
This Tuesday, Brandon's going to be on the ETOF 21 Sports Show live, 10 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to be breaking down the AFC East.
The toughest division in football.
So we're going to be breaking that down. Looking forward to that, my man. We will talk then, my friend.
Yes, sir. Cash some tickets this week.